Hi students, this is the board for your subject image processing, right? In this subject, you will learn how to process the image. Before going into the details and the introduction, first look at your syllabus. See, this is your syllabus. This is your syllabus. First unit, Fundamentals of Image Processing for the MCA. And for the MCA, look at this. These are the textbooks and reference books for your syllabus. Then for the IT, BTECH final year IT, this is the syllabus for image processing. I'm sorry, one moment. This is the syllabus for final year BTECH IT image processing syllabus. Okay. And for all these videos, first you have to follow my blog Tritva Jyothi Kiran blogspot.com, and also for the updates and for more videos and details, follow and subscribe my YouTube channel Tritva Jyothi. Students, we all are know what is an image. We are taking our pictures through the camera by using the camera and various devices, and we are also taking the aerial view pictures of the earth by using satellite cameras, all those. So we are well known about the images, and this is one image for the rose, and this is showing one image for the rose, and this is showing another image. This image is in color and this image is in a grayscale. So what is image processing and why we are learning this image processing subject? Okay. This image processing subject is very trendy, and it is having a lot of research area nowadays, and in the future also it is very important because the basics of for future research is fully dependent upon this image processing subject. So what is image processing? Means we are processing the image, like this image. What we are processing? Suppose for example, we are using a software to edit the picture. If our picture is blur, then we are adding some effects to fine grain that picture. And suppose if we want to reduce the size of the image picture, we are also doing that one. We are also processing. By processing, we are doing that one. And for the cropping unwanted areas within the image, all these operations we are doing, and many more operations we are doing upon the image. How we are doing all these operations? As a computer science students, we know very well for every processing within the computer, we are generating a software which is behind having the code implementations with the various mathematical models and with the various combination of algorithms. With by implementing those mathematical models in an algorithms with with the application software coding, then only we are getting these type of processing of the images very easily. Say students, I already told so many times, whenever we learn, we know, and we have a grip within the fundamentals and within the building blocks fundamental basic building blocks, then we can do create, test, and implement any software. And this is the subject. Image processing is very important fundamental fundamental very important fundamental subject. Note this one. Okay, so listen carefully and remember and grasp the points, the technical words used within the subject, and follow very carefully. And you also have a lab for this image processing textbook to the BTECH IT final years. In that, we will do all, we will implement whatever the technical words I'll use within the subject, we will implement according to their. Students, sorry for the call. So this is the very important fundamental subject. If you get the grip on this subject topics, then you can do the deep learning, neural networks, and the research topics, and to implement and test any software and manipulate the pictures and videos very effectively and very easily. And you can very easily know the code used within the deep learning convolution regarding convolution neural networks in the Python and whatever R, whatever the language, you can very easily understand the terminology, the functions used within those languages. Very useful subject. Listen and follow very carefully. And the for this subject, uh, you need some basic mathematical operations. You need to know basic mathematical operations. To the BTECH uh, to the BTECH students, and if you have a if you studied the mathematics, then you can easily understand. In this subject, we cannot in detail we cannot explain those mathematics, but we touch those mathematics in this subject. Those are very important. What are those mathematics we need? The basics for this image processing subject are, we need numerical array processing in this subject, and we also need basics and also need the knowledge of the matrix representations, and we also need this is very important, the set theory operations. What are set theory operations? Union. Next, another one, disjoint. See, the set theory operation union is we are using to combine two images and to combine two pictures, two grains levels for that one, and to cut the image, crop the image. For those kind of, these are only examples. We need the disjoint set theory operation mathematical model, and we also need the adjacency adjacency matrix operation we did, and we learned within the DA subject. If you remember, we learned the not here, here The adjacency matrix multiplication we learned within the VADA subject, that is very useful within this image processing operation. And we also need to know some geometric transformations, like for the transform operation, very easy and simple. And at the time I also explained those. And here you also need the knowledge about linearity and also non-linearity also we need. And we also need knowledge homogeneity, in the set theory you will get this topic. And you also need the Fourier transformations. These are 2D 4 transformations. These are few basic mathematical knowledge we need for this subject. Set theory important, 2D Fourier transformations are very important, and adjacency is also very important. We will discuss these mathematical models within this subject, and to process the image, all these are using. So these mathematical models we are using in the image processing to process the image. Among them, the matrix representation is very important, set theory is very important, and set theory all operations are very simple, and transformations we apply transformations, and the Fourier transformations, these are very important. Okay, and the field of digital image processing mainly refers to processing the digital image by means of digital computer. Why we are using the digital word? Because whatever the image we take in, those images are saved within the digital computer. The term digital means the computer taking, knowing, understanding only digits, the combination of zeros and ones. Zero is a digit, one is a digit, only binary digits. The digits only it is understanding and processing. That's why whatever we are taking and giving as an input to the computer is a digital one, and whatever we are getting is a digital one, and whatever the computer is processing is also the digital processing. Okay, then the field of digital image processing refers to processing a digital image by means of digital computer, and the digital image is composed of a finite number of elements. Okay, then these finite number of elements, each element is having a particular value and location. Okay, so the image is processing and having, so the image is composed of finite number of elements, and each element having location and value, and for each element these values we are calling as, these elements we are calling as pixels. And pixel is the term most widely we are using to denote the elements of the image. Okay, then coming to the definition of the digital image processing. Now, coming to the digital image definition, the digital image is a two-dimensional function. It is a two-dimensional function. See, the image is a two-dimensional function, and the image is representing as a two-dimensional function, then the function is representing the dimensions x dimension and y dimensional, a two-dimensional function, and the function is measuring some characteristics of the image. What are those characteristics? Suppose, one moment, eraser. Okay, the words here we are using some measure of the characteristics of the image. What are we are measuring within the image as a two-dimensional function? The function is representing the measures like brightness, and that is one characteristic. And suppose the color, this is one another characteristic. Okay, so in this way we are measuring the image within a function, and the image is representing as a two-dimensional array with the x coordinate and the y coordinate. These x coordinate and the y coordinate are spatial coordinates. What is meant by spatial coordinates? We are representing it in a two-dimensional function. Then this is the spatial plane, a two-dimensional function which is representing the image of this one. A two-dimensional function with the x coordinate and with the y coordinate. And we all know the x-axis and the y-axis of a plane are, this is the x-axis representation and this is the y-axis representation. And actually the image is captured, this is the original image for example, and this is the image actually is in a 3D scene. Okay, and the 3D scene image actually means it's capturing by using some system, suppose for example a camera like that. Then that image is converting into 2D plane, spatial plane. Okay, so 2D spatial plane means it is having a two dimensions, x dimension and the y-axis. And don't fear and bother about the numerical mathematical models, because just recollect and remember what the operations of these mathematical models are doing. And if you know the operation, the set theory operation, union, disjoint, for example, if you know the operation, then you will easily understand what kind of effect will be resulting upon the image by applying this mathematical model. So here we use the word two-dimensional, capital D, two-dimensional function. We represent the image using two-dimensional function, and x-axis as a one dimension and y-axis as a other dimension, second dimension. Okay, then coming to the applications of the image processing playing a major effect role within all technical and widespread in applications areas. Here I'll show few and major applications of the image processing. Okay, this is very important in the remote sensing remote sensing via satellites and within the spacecrafts. There is a very important role the image processing playing in this domain area, and image transformations and storage within the business applications also we are a major role image processing is playing, and within the medical processing, within the radar and within the sonar, and within the underwater sound acoustics also the a very important role the image processing playing, and within the robotics automated inspections and tracking everything within the industry, we are acquiring the images and it is playing a very important role, and within the earth resources also the image processing playing an important role, and in geographical mapping and other applications, prediction of agricultural crops and urban growth and weather monitoring, all these are the very very important and many more applications we are using the image processing. Floods and fire control, environment applications, also we are using the image applications, and wherever we are using the image we are taking and processing the image, everything is taken and processing through the image only. So the image processing is very impacting, very main role within the technologies and in every domain areas, and recognition and analysis of images obtained by deep space probes is a mission is also playing a major role, and other application like image transmission and storage applications in broadcast televisions, so teleconferences and printed documents and graphics in our office automations, fax and communication over computer networks. We are using the image processing applications like closed circuit television based security monitoring system, and in military communication and within the medical communication the x-ray processings, the x-rays also we are seeing and taking as an image, and filtering the gradients within the image. So the medical applications, in the medical applications the image processing playing a very major role. So projection of images and medical images in radiology, nuclear magnetics, all these are very important and familiar image processing applications. Okay, students, these are major applications, and for the online quizzes, you have to follow my blog and take the quiz and submit to my blog. And if you have any doubts regarding this video, also at the video, post your doubt and questions, whatever in my blog at this video. And at the end of the syllabus, I'll share this board also to you. And students, this is the introduction class for the image processing subject, and feel free to learn. This is very impacting and main role subject. Basics you have to learn to process the image. This is the next generation subject also, and the points here we discussed are the definition of the image processing, definition of the digital image processing, and the applications, and many more points we discussed. Follow these blogs, my blog and the YouTube channel. And lastly, thanks to the Microsoft for this board, which is a great board tool. Vast board solved my lecture by showing multiple types of resources for my lecture, and solving online teaching in the COVID situations. Even I may not show all these resources and may not explain by using all these resources in classroom environment. Thanks to the Microsoft.